Sorry for the cutoff. We are back. So we were talking about the seventh drishti of moon from the second house when moon is placed in Taurus. When moon is placed in Taurus, the seventh house becomes the eighth zodiac, that is Scorpio. So the Scorpio demands transformation into your self-control. So your mind is continuously challenging your self-control. Okay, it is going to continuously challenge what you are doing, what you are not doing, and it is going to definitely challenge the way of your thinking, your perceptive patterns. Okay, so in this case you would have to continuously change your psychology. Okay, by the by psychology I mean your way of decision making, your way of accepting things, your way of declining things, your way to perceive things, how you understand people, how you see their thought patterns and thinking. Okay, so this is where your mind is going to oppose you, especially your hyper impulsive behavior. Okay, so one thing you always used to should take care is whenever you are getting angry. Okay, this anger is going to distort you to the core. Okay, it's going to destroy you to the core. Your mind is challenging you to be calm because its greatest opponent is the Mars of Scorpio, which is nothing else but anger, hyper impulsiveness. Okay, the courage that is leading you and misleading you to somewhere else. So that is your opponent, and what you can do is you should meditate in the moon. Okay, on the full moon you should sit in meditation. You should try being mourn. Okay, you should be silent for the whole day. Okay, especially on the 8th tithi of the moon you should be silent. This will definitely help you to control your mood. Now the 8th house from the moon is somewhere moon is giving you a lot of troubles. Okay, so 7th house is where your moon is looking. Okay, so these are the things which may appear tough to you, but your mind will willingly and easily overcome it. Okay, so you are able to overcome your anger. But what about the thing which your mind is not able to apprehend? Okay, that is the Sagittarius. Okay, being in the 8th house. So Sagittarius is all about accepting new things in life and innovating new ways. Okay, so there might be some issues relating to your traditional mindset. You might be very rigid on your thinking patterns. You might not be able to change your thinking patterns. Okay, so what happens is, what you need to do is, first of all, learn to be flexible. Okay, there is a lot of rigidity in your thoughts. Have some flexible thoughts. The moment you inculcate flexible thoughts, things would be very easier for you. And in this case what you need is a good Jupiter. Okay, if your Jupiter is say in retrograde, it is a very less probability that you would be very flexible in thoughts. Okay, your mindset would be very rigid one. But if your Jupiter is not in retrograde, it is either direct or in say exaltation, you would simply be able to overcome this thing after the age of 16. Okay, till the age of 16 it's maturity age. You will be learning things, but as you get mature, as that planet gets matured, okay, you might be inculcating all the things into you. Okay, so this is one thing what you can what you have to take care of. Okay, being moon in the 7th, moon in the 2nd house in the 2nd zodiac. Especially don't let your traditional mindset mislead you. Okay, so all these misleading thoughts of being into some your own way is going to destroy you. What you have to do is inculcate new thought patterns, make new changes in yourself, learn in adapting new thoughts, new patterns, new mindset. Okay, so you have to accept new things. Until and unless you train your mind to accept new things, this is going to be tough for you. So one thing you always make sure that accept new things, be open to new opportunities, be open to new perception, be open to new ways of thinking. Okay, and don't force your thinking onto anything in life, not even people, not even places, not even situations. Okay, so no forcing of things. Okay, don't force the way you think on anything in life. Okay, be like rubber, get stretched, get loosened up as per situations. Okay, so this was when your second house is Taurus, that is Aries ascendant. Now let's talk about Taurus ascendants. For Taurus ascendants, the second house will be Gemini. And if your moon is placed in Gemini and you are Taurus ascendant, so first of all, your mind would be very, say, bilaterally thinking. I won't say bipolar, because bipolar is totally two different kinds. Okay, two different directions. Okay, over here I am not saying two opposite directions, I am saying bilateral. Okay, you might be thinking 90-degree this and this, you might be thinking this and this. Okay, but what I am saying is you might have two opportunities in your mind to do something. You have two ways. Always you think in a bilateral manner. First you think that this is also possible, and you think this is also possible. Okay, what is bipolar is saying that this is possible and then saying no, that's not possible. But bilateral, I mean that the mode of conduct, you always have two types of mode of conduct in your life. First you want to do this, then you again want to do this. Okay, so this and that would make your mind a bit confused. Okay, so first of all, how to get out from this confusion? One thing you might always take care is see your masculine and feminine aspect. Don't go too much feminine and don't go too much masculine in thoughts. See, masculine thoughts are all about creating thoughts, and feminine thoughts are all about supporting your thoughts. Okay, when you create your thoughts, when you be on your thoughts, is a masculine behavior, whereas feminine behavior is supporting any thought. Okay, being able to cherish a thought and to be on it even if it is not your thought. Okay, so first understand how to differentiate which thoughts are to be created by you, what patterns you need to create in your mind. Say example, you want to wake up in the morning. Now why do you want to wake up in the morning? Is it randomly because everyone around you is following that stupid shit of waking up in the 5 a.m. and doing nothing? Okay, so don't be there. If you have some plans over it, if you have a good reason over it, if you plan to wake up at 4:30 on the Rahu Kal for getting your Rahu clear, okay, so now that is your own thought. So that is a masculine thought. But if your thought is following someone, it is a feminine thought. So this moon in Gemini will create this conflicting interest in creating things and following things. And I would say it's not a bad thing, but it's something you have to take care of, because on long term, in few spontaneous decisions, you might have this trouble. Okay, but the good thing over here is Mercury is going to give you very good calculating skills. So you are a person who likes to make calculative moves on everything. You like to be calculating in what you do and what you don't do, how you do it, when you do it. So it's all a calculative mind inside you. Okay, and that is going to let's say trouble you from inside, because you are always calculating. Okay, so try to be calm and composed at times, and calculative when you make decision only. Now, fourth house from Gemini is going to be the three. It's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is Virgo. Now, Virgo being in the fourth house, what happens is, see, first of all, the good thing over here is that your moon is placed in a Mercurian sign, and the fourth house from moon, which shows the moon's best interest, the moon's best quality, is also a Mercurian sign. So one thing is sure, that Mercury is definitely going to help you until and unless your Mercury is either debilitated or in retrograde. Okay, and these people are very good at business. They are very good at calculation. If not business, you can be a good CA. Okay, but for CA you would again need a good Jupiter, because a lot of knowledge is you need to acquire. Okay, and focus. But let's talk about your calculative skills. So you are a very calculative person. Your calculations can help you attain a lot of fame in the society. You might be famous for your calculative, either if your Mercury is bad, for your calculative disasters, if your Mercury is good, for your calculative abilities. And you are also a person who likes every shortcut into your mindset. Okay, so any thought that allows you to do shortcut, okay, you would like and entertain that thought. Okay, so that's a cool part in you. You find shortcuts very good, and you are very good at pertaining to that shortcuts. Okay, you do that shortcuts very well. Now, the seventh house. Seventh house over here would be 6, 7, 8, 9. That is Sagittarius. So seventh house is Sagittarius, where the moon is watching. It's watching in the Sagittarius, who is lorded by Jupiter. So it is also giving you an indirect Gajakesari Yoga, which might be good for you and which might be bad for you. Okay, since the Gajakesari Yoga is building 7th from the moon, okay, it might bring you some loyalty issues in terms of your emotional exclusiveness from your spouse. Okay, because Gajakesari Yoga, it is said that there might be some possible betrayal or kidnapping of your spouse. Okay, but let's say this is happening in the 7th house from the moon. So moon being your mental abilities, you might feel that your spouse is not exclusive towards you. Okay, that exclusivity from your spouse is missing, and that is because of this. But one thing you always have to see is that when Jupiter is there, it is one sure thing that wealth is going to come. And whenever Jupiter and moon are either aspecting each other, wealth is either going to come from any one of them. Okay, so moon is going to give you wealth from all the food business, milk business, mental business, and Jupiter gives you from, say, teaching, banks, and government. So these sectors would be very good for you career wise. Okay, now talking to the 8th aspect. The 8th aspect is where your mind goes wrong. Okay, and over here it is in the Capricorn. So first of all, your mind goes wrong into your career field. Your colleagues are totally out of your sync. Okay, they are totally out of your mental vibe. Okay, they are like, okay, you are a traditional person, your colleagues would be too extravagant. You are a very extravagant person, your colleagues would be very introvert. Okay, so having a good company in your workplace is going to be tough for you, very tough for you. And this is something which would still depend on your Saturn. But let's see that if your Saturn is not in retrograde, you are definitely going to suffer these things. And if it is in retrograde, you might not suffer these things. Okay, but one good thing is there would always be someone to take your sorrow away from your career place. Okay, whenever you are in sorrow, whenever you are in pain, there is some colleague of you which will sprout from somewhere, come to you and talk with you and take your loneliness away. Okay, because see, moon watching in the 8th house is where moon is giving you a lot of troubles. Okay, now moon is also your mother, and moon is also your emotional connect. When Saturn lorded sign is in the 8th house from the moon, it is definitely giving you sorrow. Okay, it is definitely giving you sorrow from the 8th house. Now that sorrow is taken away from the characteristics of that house, that is your colleagues, your workplace. So it might be possible that in your whenever you are like in pain or sorrow, you run to work, you go and keep on working and working and working like a horse, like a donkey, just to keep your mind away from that sorrow. Okay, just to keep your mind indulge into something but not that sorrow. Okay, that's why you might be working too much or extra work. Okay, you might be staying at your workplace. All these things might happen just to keep you out from your sorrow. Okay, so this is your tactic to keep yourself away from sorrow. Like, go and keep on working, distract yourself from work. That is how you deal your sorrow. But if your Saturn is in good place, if it is placed with some benefic of Saturn, or if it placed in its Digbal position in the 7th house, then it is quite possible that one of your colleague is always there for your rescue. Okay. So now let's talk about Gemini ascendant. For the Gemini ascendant, Cancer is going to be your 2nd house, and Moon in the 2nd house, and in the zodiac of Cancer, it is going to give you tremendous good result. Your mother will be wealthy, or your mother's maternal side of your family is wealthy. Your mother would be very good for you. Your mother would be good for your financial gains, for your savings. Okay, like if you open a bank account conjoined with your mother, you are definitely going to increase your income. And even your emotional connect with your mother would be very good. Your mother would be slightly inclined to the traditional aspect of life. Okay, or say a bit spiritual in nature, spiritual or religious, maybe any one of those things. But in this case, I would always suggest that you must have a bank account where you and your mother are conjoined. Okay, this will increase your savings a lot. Okay, now the 4th house from Cancer. Okay, we see 4, 5, 6, 7. It would be Libra. Now 4th house from the Moon being Libra is that you might have a lot of gains from your spouse. So in this case, I would always suggest that the person should marry early in life. The earlier you marry, the better the chances are for you to get successful in your career, successful in your life, and gain a lot of respect in the society, because from Venus you are gaining a lot. Okay, especially your social development is happening because of Venus, and the Libra Venus is nothing else but your spouse. So faster you get married, faster you are going to get all the richness of the world and the material in this material society. Okay, so your social development is going to happen after your marriage. So I would suggest that very fast, okay, in your life, and that is going to bring you gains through your spouse. Okay, don't be dependent on your spouse, come on. I'm not saying be dependent on your spouse, but if you marry early, okay, your internal and mental development would increase into 2x speed. Okay, now talking about the 7th house from the Moon. The 7th house from the Moon would be 7, 8, 9, 10. That is Capricorn. The 7th house from the Moon being Capricorn, it is going to give you not powerful, but you have a lot of mental strength. Okay, because life is going to throw a lot of mental disturbances onto you, and in this case you must be mentally strong enough to handle those things. Okay, handle sorrows of life, handle some difficult situations in life, handle some crisis in life, okay, handle some loss in life. And in order to handle all these things, your life is giving you a very good better force of your moon. Being your moon in the Cancer in the second house, watching the 10th zodiac, it means that some difficulties, sorrows, loss, ups and downs are all inevitable in your life, but you have that mental strength to control yourself, have self control, and also that mental strength to help others in need of mental stamina. Okay, so I would suggest that help the people who are in need of your mental support, and you will always get that mental support back when you are in need. Okay, talking about the 8th house from the moon, the 8th house from the moon would be a number 11, that is Aquarius. Now again, see, this is again going to be a tricky thing, because 8th house is where your moon is going to give you a lot of troubles. Okay, and Aquarius is a sign of sorrow. Saturn is darkness, but Aquarius is sorrow, and that sorrow is inevitable. For Capricorn, it is some darkness which you overcome, and in Aquarius it is the sorrow that you overcome. So Aquarius Saturn is worst. Okay, and moon on that Saturn, definitely a very bad vishyo. Okay. So what happens is, first of all, do one thing, always give water on a spatik shivling. Second thing, try to donate as much as water as possible to poor people. Third thing, it is possible that you face a lot of sorrow in your life if your Saturn is direct or conjoined. If your Saturn is either in retrograde or debilitated, these sorrows might go away as you go away from your mother. As you go nearer to your mother. Okay. So if you stay in your mother's house, or stay in a house which is named on your mother, the sorrows won't affect you. Okay. The farther you go away from your mother, the more sorrows are going to come to you. Okay. But as I told you, it is inevitable, but your mind is capable enough to handle it. And always make sure that you transform yourself in sorrow. Okay. Don't be the same person who was before the sorrow came into your life. What you were before that sorrow entered your life is totally a different person. And when the sorrow goes away, you must change. If you didn't change, the sorrow will reappear in some other form. Okay, so every time that sorrow comes in your life, bring a change in your life. Learn from that sorrow. Okay, the greater you are learning from your tears, the lesser tears you have to face in the upcoming life. Now, talking about moon in Leo for Cancer ascendant. I don't know why I have some throat issues right now. It's better I cut this video into parts and upload it. It is going to be the same playlist. Keep on scrolling next, and you are going to complete it. Okay. So I'll be back because I need to do something to my throat. Okay. So thank you very much. We'll be back.